Let's get started working on the skill, multiplication with operands up to 100. The question we need to answer is, if there are 8 mice living in your kitchen, and each mouse can eat 18 pancakes, how many pancakes will be eaten by mice? Now, when you have a word problem, the first thing that we need to think about is, what type of problem is this? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So when I read them, I look for keywords. One of the biggest keywords I see is each. Each is going to refer to multiplication. Now let's see if we can draw a picture of what's happening here. We have 8 mice. I'm just going to draw those using little triangles. We have 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And each of those different mice can eat 18 pancakes. So the first mice eats 18, the second eats 18, the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and the sixth, 7th, and the 8th can all eat 18 pancakes. So if we wanted to figure out how many pancakes will be eaten by all the mice, we would have to add up all of these 18s. A shorter way to do that is by using multiplication. So we need to multiply 18 times 8. Now, the number 18 has 2 different place values. It has the 8 and the 1. The 8 is in the ones place and the 1 is in the tens place. So really, this 18 is the same thing as a 10 plus an 8. It's a lot easier to multiply an 8 times a 10 and an 8 times an 8 than it is to do this multiplication. So we're going to set that up using partial products. And I'm going to use a graphic organizer to help us make sure we have all the steps completed. The first number is 18, and that has 2 place values. So I'm going to split this rectangle in half and label it with that 10 and that 8. And the other number we're trying to multiply by is an 8. It only has 1 place value, or 1 number, so it just gets one side of the rectangle. Now each of the different boxes is going to represent another multiplication problem. The first one is going to be 8 times 10, which is 80. And the second one is going to be 8 times 8, which is 64. To find your final answer, all you have to do is add those 2 numbers together. 80 plus 64 will give me 144. So altogether, you would have, the mice would eat 144 pancakes. Hannah ate 10 boxes of jelly beans. A box contains 6 jelly beans. How many jelly beans did Hannah eat? So she had 10 boxes, and every single box had 6 jelly beans. That's going to be multiplying 10 times 6. So you're going to set that up. We have 6, we have 1 10, and 0 ones. 6 times 10 is 60, and 6 times 0 is 0. When we add those together, Hannah ate 60 jelly beans. Cameron is buying cupcakes for his class. He wants to give each kid 17 cupcakes, and there are 17 kids in his class. How many cupcakes does he need to buy? So we need to do 17 children times 17 cupcakes. Each of these numbers has 2 pieces. So our partial product needs to have 2 pieces on the top, 10 and 7, and 2 pieces on the side, 10 and 7. That leaves us with 4 mini multiplication problems that we're eventually going to add together. The first box is 10 times 10, which is 100. The right box is 10 times 7, which is 70. We have another 10 times 7, which is 70. And 7 times 7 is 49. So we're going to add all those four numbers together. 100 plus 70 plus 70 plus 49. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 9 is 9. 0 plus 7 is 14. Plus another 4 is 18. Carry the 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So he needs to buy 289 cupcakes. Connor is buying cupcakes for his class. He wants to give each kid, there's that word each, 7 cupcakes, and there are 13 kids in his class. How many cupcakes does he need to buy? We need to multiply 13 times 7. That means we're going to end up multiplying 7 times the 10 and the 3, the two parts of 13. 7 times 10 is 70, and 7 times 3 is 21. So we're going to add up 70 plus 21, and we're going to end up with 91. So Connor needs to buy 91 cupcakes. If there are 15 moths and each lay 15 eggs at the end of the season, how many moths will there be next season? So we're going to have to multiply 15 times 15. No, we'll set our box up. 15 can be broken up into 10 and 5. And the other 15 can also be broken up into 10 and 5. 10 times 10 is 100. The two 10 times 5s will both be 50. And 5 times 5 is 25. So we'll have 100 plus 50 plus 50 plus 25. Altogether, that will be 225 moths at the beginning of next season. If there are 0 moths and each one lays 16 eggs at the end of the season, how many will there be? Well, if there are no moths to begin with, then there are no moths to lay eggs. So we're going to end up with 0 eggs and 0 moths next season. That's also because 0 times anything will be 0. If there are 10 moths and each lay 10 eggs at the end of the season, how many moths will there be? We need to do 10 times 10. 10 times 10 is 100. If Luke has to clean the windows in 15 rooms and each room has 7 windows, how many windows does he need to clean? So we have to do 15 times 7. We'll break up the 15 into 10 and 5 and multiply each of those by 7. 7 times 10 is 70, and 7 times 5 is 35. And then we'll add those together. 70 plus 35 equals 105. So Luke has to clean 105 windows. If Elizabeth has to clean the windows in 14 rooms, and each room has 1 window, excuse me, start over. If Elizabeth has to clean the windows in 14 rooms, and each room has 1 window, how many windows does she need to clean? So we need to do 14 times 1. Anything times 1 is itself. So the answer will be 14 windows. Logan is buying cupcakes for his class. He wants to give each kid 16 cupcakes, and there are 4 kids in his class. How many cupcakes does he need to buy? So we need to do 16 times 4 kids. We'll separate that out. 16 is the same thing as 10 and 6 times 4. 4 times 10 is 40, and 4 times 6 is 24. And we're going to add those together. 40 plus 24 will give us 64. So Logan needs to buy 64 cupcakes.